Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this is going to be a recap video, a little extra, a little bonus, just to take the 3 stories that we've already done for After Snap, and we're going to make it into one video because we do have this Shuri video coming up very soon. Within the next week or so, we're going to have that all put together and coming to you, for you to view. So today, I'm just going to take the 3 stories, we're going to smush them all together, mash them all up, so that you guys just have it all right there. You guys don't have to click on any other links. All 3 stories so far for Bishop, Cable, and Old Man Cap. So check it out. Here we go. Hope you guys enjoy. And if I don't get to say it at the end of the video, be kind to one another. Start with Cable. Cable at this point in time, he is off in Europe, where one of the main ships actually hit from the invasion, from Mazda and his armies. And we're going to get more into that later on as the story progresses, but for right now, we're just going to start introducing the characters. The dust is thick as the squeaky brakes grind and the truck comes to a stop. Check the ammo as the old gray man gets out of the passenger seat. Not concerned about any measure of being stealthy, he starts stomping to the back of the vehicle to check the hatch. He's looking for anything that can be used as a weapon. He grunts as angrily as he decides what he wants to use on the Mazda army. As pain from the spreading technovirus slowly eats his humanity away. So right now what is happening to Cable is that his body is deteriorating, because when this invasion happens, like Mazda and the Mazda armies, his military, they put a kind of blanket around the earth so that no one can come into the earth and no one can get out of the earth. But also what that does is it stops everything as far as like superpowers, any type of magic, and all mutants are pretty much stuck where they are physically. Like if they were transformed or not, that's where they're stuck. But also they can't use any of their mutant powers. So for someone like Cable, he can no longer fight off the technovirus that he's had for so long. They're only about a mile up as he was checking through the binoculars. They can't be too much farther ahead since we started tracking them, he says to the dark man in the driver's seat. Who could that be? Yeah, but you know how quick they can catch on, Cable. These aren't normal anythings either of us are used to, even after all this time. Cable's left eye shines bright for a second as he half smiles and says, True, and I guess it's the hunt of these death squads that brings some joy to my steel cold heart. And don't think I didn't notice you eating an extra ration earlier, Bishop. Yep, by the way, that's a big reveal. Bishop's with Cable. You're in charge of the dinner. Bishop half shrugs and half smiles as he continues to check for the ammo. So half of the earth is wiped out from these ships that enter into our atmosphere. And these ships land. One lands in Europe, one lands in New York City, and the other one lands in Wakanda. And also the Earth's technology, it's not working. So the internet and stuff like that, so you're going to find that in this story, they're going to start using Morse code to communicate, because that is one thing that the aliens won't be able to detect. So when those ships landed, they also made it to where the multiverse starts tearing through, plaguing areas randomly on Earth. So there's like gases and things like that coming up through the ground. And some of the heroes are actually there for the initial invasion. So this is us catching up with them. And this is 3 years after the invasion happened, but it is 5 years after the snap. Cable and Bishop are traveling the countryside of Europe, taking out and being chased by the alien death squads. The death squads are slaughtering anyone they are coming across to help eradicate the leftover population so that the invasion can easily be completed. So Bishop and Cable, they live pretty bare and very nomadic. They grab anything they can find to use as a weapon or a tool. Their travels across Europe have been, at the very least, eventful. They found their trusty steed, a half-cobbed, half-working truck. It's like a Jeep truck thing outside of a small town not far from Berlin. It's hard sometimes to find anything these last few years that works. Most vehicles have been destroyed by the invading army after the shielding that went around the earth. The shine of the sun and atmosphere has a light purple hue, which is a constant reminder of how bad it's been and how bad it continues to be. Food is scarce, humanity is in hiding, so all the humans are trying to hide. And with communications down for so long, Cable has no idea if anyone is still alive. Hell, he himself hangs on by a thread. As with the loss of his mutant abilities, the technovirus is spreading faster than normal. The pain some days is even too hard for him to ignore. Bishop, while good for companionship, isn't always the best for small talk. Small talk on this world has become a relic. They still do what they can to make humanity something at this point in time. There is no future in sight, but they help anyone they can along the way. There are so many smaller towns that dot the land side of Europe that it's easier to help survivors. Bigger cities were targets on a grander scale earlier on, and the patrols are heavier there anyways. How do we know that their little bit of perseverance is actually working? Because the death squads now have a tale of 2 ghosts who wipe out their comrades by the dozens. It's enough now that the whispers are starting to travel up the command chain. So yeah, these 2 are together right now. They're in Europe. They're riding in a buggy that they got. It's all beat up, and you guys are going to see pictures of that because I created some of that stuff. So yeah, we're going to see pictures of that. We're going to see where Cap is, if Cap's involved. We're going to see if Black Panther's involved at all. Maybe he's not. Who knows? We're going to see. We're going to check in with all these heroes around the world. And yeah, we're going to tell you guys the story. We're going to hopefully see how they can all come together, heroes and villains, and take out Maztra and the Maztra army. We're going to talk about Bishop, and it's going to be narrated today, not by me, thank goodness, but by Tay K Cosplay on the socials. So here we go.
I swear, these things deteriorate faster than I can clean them. He finishes cleaning the gun in front of him and places it to the side as he removes the chain of his chainsaw. It's the rare, quiet evenings like this, in his dimly lit tent, when he can let his mind wander through everything that has happened. It amazes him that after all the history he and Cable have, everything with Cable and Hope, where it took all of them, and how dark Bishop had let himself fall, they are now companions in this quest to carve out what they can in this world. Time is a funny thing to mess with, and he has always been a man running into it or out of it. As he continues to oil the chain on his makeshift workbench, he can hear Cable just outside the tent, stoking the fire, grunting and mumbling to himself as he shifts around. Bishop can tell that the pain from the virus is in full effect. Cable does his best to hide it, and Bishop does his best to ignore it. While they are still far from any resemblance of friends, neither is any good in this world alone. It's a mutual agreement that no one even dares talk about aloud. As a matter of fact, Bishop's shame and self-resentment is what keeps his mouth shut most of the time. He is too old to fight or make any decisions in this tired, broken world. It seems to give Cable some small bit of purpose. Plus, let's be honest, Cable is pretty hard to top when it comes to planning. He chuckles to himself as he wraps the chain back around the saw. I do love this rudimentary thing. He stands, grabs Cable's rifle along with the saw, and makes his way out of the tent and towards the fire. Cable glances at him from his seat, the flames from the fire dancing along his cybernetic pieces. Bishop tosses the rifle in Cable's direction. Here. Cleaned, oiled, locked, and loaded. Cable nods in return. Staring into the fire, he adds, "Good hunt today." Bishop follows suit, staring at the flames and pausing for a moment. He quickly yanks the cord of the saw, spewing smoke and sparks. Guess it's time to find dinner. He turns and stalks towards a small tree line as the last few rays of the setting sun burn on the horizon.
Here he is. This action figure is done by Chevy 2. His link will be down in the description. Here we go.
As if we haven't been through enough, the gray-bearded man thought. And then a second alien invasion from an all-new alien force. And poor Buck, just when he catches a real break. Oh, and Bruce, poor Bruce. After finally getting to a place where he was happy and comfortable with himself, he trails up in thought. Intel from Fury, or rather, the Unseen, had said that due to the gamma radiation inside the Hulk, the invaders targeted him immediately. Cap then starts to think of Nat and her sacrifice, which always derails his focus, and he nearly misses what he was looking for. The aging Captain America shrugs all of his distracting thoughts off as he realizes he has arrived. Luckily, he found safety, using the term safety loosely, outside of New York on the northern outskirts. With so much of modern tech now destroyed or offline, travel can be difficult. Even with Steve's mental youth, his body is starting to struggle with reality. The Mastra have death squads, alien companies that stalk all over the countryside, which obviously makes traveling a challenge. Most of the major cities have been demolished, overrun, and taken over. Cap does what he can, but he's not the spring chicken he once was. Worst of all, he has hardly seen or even spoken to anyone in what seems like decades. This should be the proper code, he says to himself as he presses the keypad that appears to be just a rusty electrical box. After a few seconds, what once was just a slab of concrete slowly begins to retract into the earth. As it opens, stairs begin to appear in the dark passage. Dimly lit square lights start to come into focus. This has got to be the bunker he told me to find. Cap did one short span of his surroundings to confirm he was alone, then proceeded down the passageway. He takes the stairs to the bottom, and there he finds a large mechanical blast door. After about a minute, a panel to the right near the seam of the walls opens up. Nick, Unseen. What the heck are you? Cap is quickly cut off as Nick's voice echoes. Welcome to the Bunker Command Center, outpost and last line of defense, put together by the foresight of Nicholas J. Fury. Nicholas J. Cap is cut off again. Now we initiate Protocol 158. Nick appears and turns to face a confused Cap. First order, a full DNA scan to confirm humanity, says Nick, as a full scan is completed while he walks around Cap. Confirmed, you are Steve Rogers, aka Captain America. I am LMD 147S. Call me Nick for the sake of naturalism. Nicholas had me created and placed here in the event of catastrophe, either scheduled or by surprise. Nicholas is on the moon. I am programmed to essentially take his place. I also have full access to all Stark knowledge, network, and tech. Everything to build a resistance to take on the Mastra invaders is now at your fingertips. LMD 147S smiles at Cap. Next, let's activate Protocol 567. What? Cap replies. Nicholas saved a small amount of infinity formula for you. It won't turn back the sands of time, but it will give you back some of what you've lost. It will stop your aging from here on out. You'll get some strength, but just not near the peak of superhero serum. Without warning, LMD Nick injects the formula into Cap's arm. So what's the next? Cap is cut off again. You are not alone, Captain. Others were called in as well. You must get everything up and running in order to form a resistance, and then we wait for more heroes to arrive. The blaster doors open, revealing a huge computer and command center. Who else was called in?
Just want to thank the whole creative team and everyone who's helped out so far doing voiceover work and everything like that. Thank you to Taylor, TK Cosplay on the socials, Chevy Tuhu, Fanboytone, Markai Labs. Check out all of them. All their links will be down in the description. And also a huge thanks to Brock, Life with Brock. Go check out his channel, his YouTube channel. I'll also put it down here in the links. He's going to be doing maybe something special. You'll have to go check it out. Weekly, he's doing the This Week in Customs, so check those out. You might see a little bit of something in there that has to do with the Toy Squad Originals after Snap. So thank you guys. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for taking some time out of your day. Enjoy the rest of your day. And also, be kind to one another.